It's 5 to 8. You know, it's time to get ready. And they're off. They're off. Northumberland, Scotland are in for the preamble. The preamble. Pre-broadcast, broadcast. Wales, hello. Good morning, everyone. Beautiful day. I might lose you after this snack, I think. I think you might be lured into gardens and balconies and sunny window spaces, perhaps. So we're going to make the most of this one. These names. I'm beginning to memorise these names. Greece, hello Greece. The sun has got his hat on. Earworm, you know what comes next. Sunny Shrewsbury, hello. Sunny Shrewsbury. I never know how to say Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury. Not too sure. Maybe you could spell it out phonetically, Wendy, so I can better understand. Super icon in. So we're here, it's week 2-ish. Sister Townley in the house. Eastleigh, I know that. Oh, it's Shrewsbury, thank you Wendy, I can't quite get my teeth around it. Who's walking the dog but watching? Nice work Wendy, nice work. So if you're tuning in for the first time, I'm just acknowledging these comments from what have become our morning movement snackers club. So you two can read these comments either now or after. If you don't want to see these comments during this movement snack because you want to see my feet, you just give them a swipe. Whiz Beach. Okay, I've been correct. I've started something now. Never mind Shrewsbury. Wisbech is pronounced Whiz Beach. So sorry, Sheila. I'm always happy to take feedback. This is what we do. Thank you. Anyway, I've got an important announcement today. I've just heard it on the radio, which is very close to my heart. It's a very important birthday today. Agnetha from ABBA is 70 today. If only she was tuning in, I'd say happy birthday, Agnetha. Thank you for the memories. I am an ABBA fan. The number one ABBA fan, actually. Shout out to Agnetha. Let's get onto something more topical. Sorry. I was reminded this morning, my mum came into my room at 5:30 to say hello. I said, what are you doing, Mum? She'd just taken her alendronic acid. So she was adding minutes today because today is alendronic tablet day, which means she has to stay upright. And I'm sure there are many people out there in the same position. But maybe Sunday isn't your day, but it's the day we can add some extra minutes or heel raises, maybe. Thank you for the music. Nice pun, Angela. I like that very much. Okay, 30 seconds. All the ABBA and alendronic talk is counted us down very quickly. So you start to get in the zone where you're going to be up, down, a bit up and down. Select your support, solid table. Make sure it's the right height. Make sure that if you are using external support, it's kind of at hip height for you so that you can still stand freely. I'm seeing all the ABBA comments and I have to drop the gauntlet because I went to see them in 1979 at Wembley Arena. Was anyone there? Who on this group has seen ABBA live? Just a little thought there. Right, come on, enough. You've dragged me into another world. That makes me smile a lot. So let's do this. It is. Good morning. My name is Bex Townley, #1 ABBA fan. Happy birthday, Agnetha. This is week 2, day 14, movement snack 1. This is the final day of week 2. 2 weeks of extra movement minutes. We're going to start with our usual routine that hopefully you'll be coming to know and love. The idea is we're creating new routines here so that they become almost automatic, so that when you get up you know that you want to do some mobility, a little bit of circ boost before you go into your day. I'm going to add in a few extra things today. So if today is the first time with us, and you just want to stick to the kind of baseline movement that I suggest, do that. Don't feel you have to take on all of these progressions. Pick your position. Here we go. Sit or stand, where would you like to be? If you know what's coming next in this upright stand position, start your circulation boosting march here. So this is 1 minute and a bit-ish, just to pump the feet, just to be mindful of where the posture is, just a little bit of circulation boost, prepare us for this session. Articulating feet and ankles, I've rolled my trousers up again so you can see. So remember, we've got really deliberate ankle foot placement, peeling the heel off, pressing it down, staying open and lifted, using support so that we can feel confident enough to stand and transfer weight. Keep going on that if you're in standing, please. If seated is your chosen position today, whatever chair you're in, give yourself some support if you need. And then we've got this hip walk, and we're literally hitching, shifting and lifting the hips, walking the buttocks forward so that we're away from the back of the chair. Anchor the feet, anchor the buttocks, taller than you normally are, and let's start with the same circulation boosting from the feet. Remember, we're trying to think about toes here as well, so your toes are the last thing to leave the floor, and you're pushing the heels up and your toe barely lifts the floor. It's the ankles that do the work, not the hips here. Bit of arm, 1 or 2, here's 1, here's the other one, here's 2 together, or we can have this rhythmical action. Sometimes joining the hands together helps with coordination, helps with rhythmical symmetrical movement. Press that back a little bit more, and if you feel you can bring them together, do so. Keep going if that's your seated option, and in stand, whenever you feel that it becomes natural to you to release the arm, maybe 2, or stay close to the support if you need. Take a pause. How do we feel? That little boost should literally just make you go, I've had a boost, I'm ready. And all the magic happens once the circulation increases and the body starts to move. Literally, magic starts to happen. So let's progress this a little bit then. So in standing, please, a little bit of side tapping. So slight angle change from the hips, as you can see here. Definitely trying to articulate the toes. This is going to prepare me for sideways stepping. I'm getting the hips ready. Keep going on that standing grip. In seated, it's the same. So you're going to have a little bit more leg extension from the knee and more toes. And have a look down. Really connect with your toes here. Because when we take a sideways step, generally we need those toes and the balls of the feet to go down first. Okay, good. Take a pause. One more last bit of upper body, please, on the arms. And in standing, just plant the feet and just let's focus on shoulders back a little bit more, but staying up tall. Just a little bit more range through the shoulders. And pause. Circulation boost is done. So our morning session generally focuses on mobility. So let's start with the shoulder rolls up and down. If you're happy in stand and you want to keep a little bit of foot pedal going, that's great, up, back and down. Remember, this one is head stays still, and I'm trying to find how much movement I have in this position. Same as seated, what have you got? And if you want to do one at a time, you might just explore how that mobility is on each shoulder. Keep the head still for everything. Head turns, stand or sit. It's a slow turn, pause in the middle. When we turn the head, your balance may be challenged to a greater or lesser degree. So take hold of some supports, feel balanced in the legs, and then just explore again this head turn. Without stating the obvious, we need this movement to see where we're going, to gaze around, to identify tasks, our head needs to guide the way, literally. Okay, take a pause. Another movement now for the neck is this one. We've been doing these for the past 2 weeks. How do you feel? Are these movements becoming more fluid or easier, or are you feeling that you've got a little bit more movement? Press this back here and then take a pause. So these mobility movements, 1 time, 3 times or 5 times. We don't need to do loads, we're just looking for quality, not quantity. I want to add in some extra mobility today, so to bring a little bit more function to these isolated movements we've just done. Let's just bring a hand to the side of the ear and then just see how far can you go. Can you get to the top of the head? Can you get to behind the head or back of the neck? So we're just bringing in now. How far? Just have a gauge and just kind of know how far we can get with these movements. And if you can only get to here, that's the movement we stick at. If you can get to the top, go for that. If you can get all the way around the back, go for that. But the head stays still. We just really want the shoulder being mobilised here. Okay, have a little release. Side bends in seated. Take the feet a little bit wider. Now when I say take the feet wider, that in itself offers us even more opportunity. So I can either step wide or I can use the heels and the toes to walk me wider. Now I can take a little bit of bend and it comes back, pause in the middle. Relatively small movement, bend and come back, bend and come back. Slow and controlled, and in stand it's the same. Here's your balance position, down and come back. Now this is just a functional bend. I don't want extreme, huge ranges of movement. These are the movements that we need in daily life. Lift and lengthen as you do this, and if you want to add a little extension as well, bring in an arm on a reach, see how you feel with that if you're confident in stand. Keeping this wide base of support to help with our balance, let's move to our turning, our trunk turning. I can use the support to walk me round, leaving my hips behind. I can use the table to literally walk me round. Again, if I'm turning the body or turning the head, your balance might feel challenged, so really use this support so that you can feel confident to turn. So these are movements that are comfortable for you. Move in and out of them slowly. No momentum, no pace, no pushing round, you're just squeezing round. You control the movement. Okay, which brings us to back extensions. In seated first, if you know what's coming, please go ahead, don't wait for me. From our usual sit posture, we're lengthening through to upright and then adding an extra bit of extension. My gaze stays forward, in and out. I can put a little bit of guide here, back of hand or palm, just to guide that up and back out. 1, 3 or 5 of these. Rather one good one. If it's the first time you've done it, just explore one time and see how you go. In standing it's the same. Close to support, both hands on for this one, or solid support, just to make sure that as you extend back, we're not having a change of weight shift. So I'm really balanced across feet and I'm coming to here. Head stays forward. So in those 3 movements, can you see we have the bend, the turn and the extend. And to some degree all of those work together to enable us to function, turn, reach, grab, push, pull. Ankles, come on ankles. In seated then, we either have all the way back into full backrest with that hip walk. Make the most of that as well. Lift and shift. and little lift up, and there is the ankle mobility. Have a look if you need to, look ahead if you can. And bring the toes in that right here, so as much toe action as you can on that one. Same on the other leg. The other alternative seated is our heel toe. Now this is the same as the standing action. 1, 3 or 5 both sides, and as you can see here I've got some hips as well. So if you are very tall and this one is not comfortable for you, go for this one. In stand, we've got the heel toe action here. Support, because we're going to be challenging balance and you're going to be getting some strength in this hip also. If you're happy to and you're confident to, you can translate that ankle mobility into a functional step with support if you need. Back heel comes off, weight transfer. Okay, I want to add 2 things in before we go. In stand, side step, sturdy side step. I'm all with the table. See how you go with that side step, and then because we want more ankles, I want you to try side step, and then come back for 2. And we do the same on the other leg. So it's 2 little ones, but we're adding a little bit of oomph. So you have this little bit of really using the ankles and the feet as a spring. One side and then the other. Can you see? So control, control, come back, come back. Crossing over into balance here, so do use support. In the chair it's the same. We either have lift and place and place and place, or you can walk the heel and the toe out, so we've got more ankle action going on here, and then the other one. So we're using the feet to actually get more range through the hips. If feet aren't an option, you're on your hip walk. So the I can approach literally is, if there's something that's not achievable, we go to the thing that is. Okay, so for whatever reason, feet aren't working today, we shift to hip mobility. Okay, one more thing before we go. I need you to rehearse something for the 4 o'clock session today. So this is the rehearsal. Are you ready? I'm going to show you here. It's exactly the same in seated. I'm showing you here. So you're going to practice this throughout the day because it links to what we're going to do at 4 o'clock. Okay? And it involves some coordination. So one hand on shoulder, one hand on hip. And they move to the next place. They move to where the hand was. We move around one space. We move around one space. Can you see? So I move around one space, one space, one space. So I'm using my trunk as 4 corners, and I'm trying to move my hand. So we should end up with something like this. See how you go? That's your challenge, and of course go the other way as well. Have a go with that. Challenge for the day, get your families involved if they're with you. And of course I need to say, crowbar in some heel raises please. And if you feel mobile and sufficiently warmed, keep going with those sit to stands. Can we crowbar in some sit to stands every hour? Could we? Could we? Thank you very much. That's another 10 minutes in the movement bag. I'll see you back at 12 o'clock for some more strength activities. We're going to build on this coordination movement to filter into our 4 o'clock session. Keep on moving. Happy birthday, Agnetha. And I might just well play some ABBA today. See you soon. Bye.